Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Spike Ridgley Show, our show brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Dave Sheets, along with the manager of the Massillon Tiger baseball team, Spike Ridgley. Spike, welcome back to the show.
Great to be here with you, Dave.
The Tigers concluded their regular season schedule with a 9-2 loss at home to Medina on Monday night. Massillon finishes the regular season with a 14-12 record. Tell us more about that Medina game.
Yeah, first of all, great team. Very, very good team. Probably one of the best three teams we played all year long. We scheduled them on purpose that way because we knew we'd face some good pitching before we went into the tournament. And, you know, some things that we need to clean up, we know that. But a lot of what we saw last night was a really good baseball team that hit the ball really well. The thing that we'll take from it that I think is going to help us, and we'll work on it in practice the next couple of days, we saw about the velocity that we think we're going to see on Thursday. So that'll help to prep our kids a little bit. We can talk about what we saw in that game and then try to move forward with practicing that velocity some in practice as well.
Because of your seeding in the upcoming tournament, this past Monday's game marked the last home game for your seniors. What was your message to them and to the rest of the team after the game?
We can play better. The message is no doubt. We've seen us play better. We've been a little streaky this year, where we'll lose 3 or 4 in a row and then win 3 or 4 in a row. And so for us, when you have a game like that, the game before, a really, really important one, we don't want to dwell on it too much. We want to learn from it. But my message to them was that we know we can play better. First, you tip your cap to Medina because they were very good. We have to pull out our best, and we have a couple of days to find it. The big thing for me is, and I'll try to instill in these guys, is I believe they can do it. I know they can do it because we've seen them play that way. We know it's going to be a very difficult opponent. We have tons of respect for them. Our goal is to go in there and be the team that we know we can be and play the way that we know we're capable of playing. And then we'll live with whatever happens at that. But we just want to go over there and play to our full potential and see how the cards fall.
And we'll talk more about that Mayfield game later in the show. Let's talk about 2 more games that were played last week. Last Wednesday, you beat Dover at home and then lost at Jackson on Friday. What did you take away from those 2 games? Yeah,
leading up into the Dover game, we had played really well 3 days. I think we had 3 in a row going into that one. A couple of Federal League wins, which we always respect. And then being able to come back against Alliance after they had beaten us pretty badly the week before. So going into the Dover game, we had some good confidence going. We have a lot of respect for them. It's been a pretty even affair over the last 9 years of me being here. I want to say we're almost split down the middle. But we were able to come out and play really well. We hit the ball. We've been hitting the ball pretty well. And played great defense and was able to pull out a win that day. And when you go against a team that's well coached like that, you get those wins like that, and it feels good, and it's a good confidence boost for your team. And then you go and play a Jackson team that's ranked in the state, as a lot of times they are. Couldn't put it together offensively that night, but played really well. I think we were in a 1-0 game going into the 5th, maybe. We ended up losing 3-0. Had a couple of opportunities with guys on base. We had a 2-out opportunity with a guy at third with Gavin Merceric up. You take that opportunity 10 times out of 10. It just didn't happen for us that night. And then we had another opportunity with a guy at second maybe later. But the big thing we took away from that game was, listen, we faced a guy that they have going to, I think, Marshall, Landon Dahl, really good left-handed pitcher. We were right there with them. You got to score to win. We didn't do that, but we played really good defense that night. Isaac Maxheimer started on the mound. He's a freshman, and he handled himself like a junior. So there were some real positives to take from that. I think that's why it was so disappointing last night with the Medina game, because we had been playing better. So, for us, we want to try to get our mindset back into where we were at last week, moving into this week. Like I said, we know it's in there. We just got to tap into it and believe we can do that.
So you finished the regular season 2 games over 500. Did you get the quality of competition for your team that you hoped you would when you put this schedule together?
Yeah, for sure. In fact, with a couple of the makeup games and the teams that we picked up, I think it ended up being, maybe even a little better than what we thought, because we were able to kind of handpick opponents. But when you get that many rainouts, you get an opportunity to pick, hey, we're going to do this right now because it's going to help our team, with X, Y, or Z. So to have 26 games in right now, is pretty remarkable given the couple of weeks of rain that we had at the beginning. So that's a credit to our guys. You know, they wanted to play. We had 1 week where we played every single day of the week, and we've had a couple where we had 5. So there hasn't been a lot of practice time. So we're really going to relish these couple of days in order to just kind of step back, take a deep breath, and be able to address a couple of things that we think will help us going into to Thursday.
When we come back, we'll visit with a Tiger player, but first this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile-per-gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar-ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call Reliable Heating and Cooling for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning. When you're ready to live in the now, call Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Thanks to Reliable Heating and Cooling, and welcome back to the Spike Ridgley Show. The Tiger player joining us this week is freshman first baseman and outfielder Will Himes. Will, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Will, at what age did you start playing baseball, and do you remember who taught you the game?
I've been playing baseball like my whole life, and my dad's been bringing me up through. I've been watching my brother's games ever since I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. As you were growing up, did you and do you still have a favorite Major League Baseball player?
Yes, my favorite player is Josh Naylor.
Okay.
I like the energy that he brings. I just think he's awesome.
Okay, and he plays first base?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In what areas of your game did you work on the most since the end of last season?
I worked on getting stronger and working in the weight room. I fixed my batting. Mm-hmm. I used to have a big leg kick. I took that down so I can time up the pitcher better, and that's been working out for me.
Sounds good. Coach tells us you play both first base and in the outfield, and you DH. Do you have a preference on where you play defensively?
I do not. I just like to do whatever helps the team.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, the difference between playing first base and playing in the outfield, there's different skills involved.
Yeah.
Can you kind of highlight maybe some of those? What it takes to be a good first baseman and what it takes to be a good outfielder?
Well, first base, you have to knock it down for your teammates. Someone chucks in the dirt, you pick them up, makes a bad throw, you knock it down. Just do anything for the team. And for outfield, you have to track balls. Just keep your eye on it, have extra focus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And finally, being just a freshman, how did your older teammates treat you, especially at the start of the season?
They treated me amazing. Mm-hmm. They welcomed me like I was one of their own. You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool, very good. Thank you for your time today, and best of luck in this Thursday's tournament game.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Spike Ridgley will rejoin the program after this timeout.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
Welcome back to the Spike Ridgley Show. Coach, we just spoke with freshman first baseman and outfielder Will Himes in our last segment. It doesn't happen very often when you have a freshman that makes a big impact on a varsity team, doesn't it?
No, you know, we've had freshmen play for us in the past. Right now we have 3 playing for us. But yeah, he's first and foremost, he's a really good kid. Really nice kid, great student. And we knew when we were watching him in the winter time that he had really quick hands, so we knew there was a pretty good chance that this might happen. He battled an injury a little bit going into camp, which set us back just a little bit. But he bounced back quick, and really once he got into his swing and feeling good again, and he adjusted to some of the pitching, he's really swinging the bat well for us. And on top of that, he's playing first base, he's playing some left field, DH is some, but he's really contributed defensively as well. And what's really neat about it is his dad and I, Ben, we were teammates in high school. He was our catcher. I was a shortstop on that team, and he was our catcher. So that's a little bit of a neat dynamic too, when you have former teammates. It reminds you you're getting older too, unfortunately. but no, Will's doing a great job for us. He's a really, really good teammate too.
We mentioned in the opening segment your first tournament game is Thursday night at Mayfield. Now they're a team you've faced several times in the last few seasons.
Yeah.
How does this current Mayfield team compare to some of the other teams you've gone up against?
Having not seen them yet, we're going to try and scout them Wednesday night. It looks like they have a game tomorrow night, so we're going to go and watch tomorrow night. But the information that we have from just the different people that we trust is that they're really athletic. They've got a guy, that we're hearing he's 86 to 88 with a hammer. So we're gonna see that firsthand. And then I respect their coach a bunch. I mean, we've gone at each other 2 times so far with everything on the line, and here we go for another one, a third one. So he's a guy that does a great job with that program. They do a lot of the things that we try to do as well. They'll bunt the ball, they'll hit and run. They like to steal bases. So it's going to be a battle. If we go out and play how we're capable, it's going to be a great game. It'll be a great atmosphere, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
What mindset do you want your players to have when it comes to tournament play, knowing that it's a one-and-done situation?
Yeah, stay in the moment. We need to stay in the moment, and it's very rare that you're going to win every moment. So for us, we want to try not to lose 2 in a row in those small portions and things that happen in a game. And then it's 7 one-inning battles is what it is. So you're trying to win the inning no matter what's going on. Trying to do the little things right. If we get the second out, let's try and get the third one in the very next hitter. If we're fortunate enough and we score, let's try to shut it down in the next half inning. Let's not let them score. If they happen to score, let's make sure we answer back right away in the next half inning. So we just want to go out and be very competitive, have a competitive mindset, and try to stay in the moment. We want to try to win each individual moment as much as possible, and to do that, you got to be in the moment. You can't be holding on to an at-bat that already happened or a play that's already happened, because there's nothing we can do about that. We can only look forward.
Pitching is such an important part of baseball, obviously, at every level. Describe the process for us, how you and your coaches decided who will be your starter for this opening tournament game.
Yeah, well, given the fact that they like to bunt, they like to run. Obviously, we start by we're process oriented, so we don't look as much at what's the guy's win-loss record. I really don't look at that at all. I'm looking at percentage of strikes. What's the first pitch percentage of strikes? What's the percentage of strikes overall? And we're looking for somebody that we want to be over 60% with that when we choose that guy. And then we like Brock Palilli out of the bullpen throwing late in the game. Who does he back up? Who does it look better maybe with? When he comes in late. Right now, I'll be honest with you, we're in between Drew Longwell and Isaac Maxheimer to start the game. And if we're fortunate enough at the end to be able to bring in Brock, that's kind of our plan. And again, we're looking for a guy that's going to pound the strike zone and fill it up and eliminate freebies as much as possible.
Offensively, do you approach this game like you would a regular season game, or do you tend to be more aggressive based on in-game situations?
Some of it's a feel of the game once we get in the game. But it's important to try and score first if you're able to do that. Tournament games, there's more bunting in general. I mean, that's any time I've been in a tournament game. But we bunt a lot anyways. So for us, it's not all that much different. If you're facing a guy that's really dominating, typically you won't bunt to make the second out. But if you're facing a guy that's really dominating and our guys are having a tough time, you may consider bunting. If there's a guy at first and 1 out, you may consider bunting the guy to second to have 1 swing at it with 2 outs. I've done that before. We'll see how it's going first before we make those decisions. But for us, you know, we play small ball anyways, so we're hoping to be in a position to be able to do so. I mean, really, I mean, you go back to the Jackson game, we just didn't have any opportunities. We didn't get leadoff guys on very often in that game. And then the Medina game, we were down 4 before we took a breath. So, you know, it kind of takes away some of those smaller things that you want to do when you get in those situations. So, you know, we would love to try and score first. We'll do everything we can to try and do that, and then let the game dictate it from there.
When it comes to those situational decisions, is that all you, or is that input from other coaches at the time? How do you feel about that?
When we're in the game, I'm making that decision in the middle of the game. Now, sometimes we'll get to talk in between innings. You know, if you know, hey, Jamie, Coach Mercer, you know, what do you think? You know, let's say we get the 2 guys on. You know, who do you like as a pinch hitter? Or, you know, what do you think about this situation? Do you like the bunt, or just to see? Because I trust those guys. I've been around Jamie for 9 years now in the dugout. So. And Coach Knight's now been 5, and then I coach Zach Catrone. So, you know, when we have the ability, I like to talk to him. A lot of the decisions that you just don't have that. So you got to go by what I think is going to give our team the best chance to be successful, and I don't factor anything else in other than that. There's you know, for lack of a better way to say it, there's no feelings involved. You know, we're trying to win the game, and you know, whatever that takes is what it takes.
Sounds good. Well, best of luck on Thursday against Mayfield.
Thank you.
That'll do it for another edition of the Spike Ridgley Show, as always brought to you by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I want to thank first baseman and outfielder Will Himes for joining us this week on the show as well. For Coach Spike Ridgley, I'm Dave Sheets. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.